The CBC is one type of publicly issued virtual currency. It would be backed by and controlled by the Federal Reserve, and U.S. officials would fully back and trust it. It could want to replace current bill designs, offer a game with quick settlement, and be a way for people to send money across borders. Encourage more people to join the economy. More than 130 countries are looking into making their own virtual currencies backed by their governments. You might be able to start a digital euro test as early as 2028. China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and India have already started. At the same time, the U.S. is still a little behind because of its growing and clear records regarding digital money can be used for many things. The U.S. is clean because of these words, which come from the U.S. Congress. Congress has made it clear that XRP is new to the American market. This is always the case for banks and other financial companies. The U.S. Federal Reserve has specifically backed the use of XRP for all trades in the U.S. and around the world. What's the size of this? The U.S. Congress is aware of the trend around the world for countries like China, India, Brazil, and others to move toward establishing their own important digital currencies. The U.S. doesn't want to bet on which business they are working with based on this change, so they are using Ripple and the XRP ledger together. If Ripple wants to come back, they can. Everything you need to know about XRP in one place, including physical stores in other countries, India, Russia, and Brazil, China, and South Africa, work together to make a big digital bank that they could both use, and now the U.S. is doing the same. Watch this movie to learn more about what the U.S. Federal Reserve and Ripple talked about when they talked about CBDCs. This historical context goes all the way back to 2015 and shows how Ripple and the SEC worked together behind the scenes. This was a clear sign that Ripple was going to win the SEC case. You may remember when Ripple gave the Fed knob charge machine to the Federal Reserve. In 2015, the Federal Reserve talked about working with a blockchain company to make green bills that could be sent and received in just 3 to 5 seconds. However, the Fed's official announcement of the device did not mention Ripple by name. A more in-depth look at the data shows some ideas. Gary Gensler has always talked about the U.S. Federal Reserve's using Ripple before he was hired. Gensler said that he thought the Federal Reserve would add XRP and Ripple to their system for charging for both domestic and foreign transactions. This was before the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple. Now we are in the present. With the help of the Ripple web tool, Riverbank, a great Ripple fee partner has officially joined. The Fed's machine for net fees, let's get rid of this. Besides being a bank, Riverbank also helps with charges and relies on the Xcurrent and Xrapid tools from RippleNet. XRP and its ledger are used for on-demand liquidity in both of these systems. Because they are all built on XRP, it's clear that Xrapid, Xcurrent, and Ripplet will play a role in this way. The FedNet payment system is ready to use XRP for its liquidity needs and cross-border transfers if you want to keep XRP, which is good news for your investment. Because of this, we think that its price will go up as XRP's uses and benefits grow. This integration of XRP into regular banking systems is more than just it's proof of how useful cryptocurrencies can be, and it shows how global finance is changing as traditional banks realize how useful, fast, and effective blockchain technologies like Ripple's are. Also, Gary Gensler's backing and the movements that followed, with the help of groups like Before we go any further, I have some great news for you. In order to enter the XRP giveaway on my website, you just need to do these 3 simple things. Riverbank is just the beginning of what will happen as more businesses learn about and use the power of XRP and other similar technologies. At some point in the business, the spread effect might be felt. This video gets 2 thumbs ups. You can share this movie with your audience after clicking the subscribe button and turning on notifications. Congratulations to all of you. I'll make sure that those steps are taken when we pick the winner. We'll tell everyone who won when we get 600 members. Now that Milestone is talking about the price of XRP again, it's getting more important. People have talked about the U.S. Federal Reserve's interest in XRP and the U.S.'s overall trend toward adopting it. But the U.S. isn't the only country that sees XRP's potential. The BRICS countries and even the European Union, with its digital euro assignment, are looking into its capabilities to get a better sense of how it is being used. To help you understand our main points about Europe's virtual euro undertaking and the BRICS states' CBDCC, you can watch our movies on those topics. As we've talked about in all of our earlier videos, America wants to use XRP for more than just cryptocurrency. They also want to use it to make passport transfers work better, and not just for CBDCs. Businesses in the United States and around the world, we should look at what this means for XRP's fee going forward. As more people use XRP, especially when big financial institutions like the U.S. Federal Reserve are involved, its real value will definitely change. This is because a cryptocurrency's usefulness is a big part of how much it's worth. When something is part of a large-scale economic system, it doesn't just help with transactions right away. It also builds trust and long-term agreements. The international financial scene is changing very quickly. Digital transactions are becoming the rule, and people want to move money quickly across borders for a fee. Support from major main economies and economic institutions can be a spark that puts cryptocurrencies, especially ones that have been used before like XRP, in a class by themselves for traders and enthusiasts at a crucial time. XRP's path to a bright future looks good based on its present integrations and endorsements, but as with any, it is important to know about investments. Keep an eye on what's happening and make decisions based only on thorough study. Is it possible that the XRP will stay around $110,000, 0 cents? The question of why businesses, especially those in the North, are becoming more interested has been going around the crypto network a lot, and we'll get to it quickly. Inside are places where American International is located. The XRP ledger is part of a growing crypto environment. Digital currencies can now be used in more than 130 countries. Speculations about the price of XRP run from $10, 0 cents to an amazing $35, 0 cents. This is especially true when you consider that it could be located in an international central business district. In part, this is because XRP isn't often pushed as the leader. An important financial group using virtual currencies for business. What does this mean? As countries work to use XRP for global payments, it's possible that it will become a widely used middle-level foreign currency. This is what the dealing director at V Hill Capital says should be done if XRP is accepted as the global average exchange rate. Even though XRP has a large supply, the high demand may cause it to go up, putting it most likely between $10,000, 0 cents and $35, 0 cents. These are the XRP predictions and values that investors and experts are looking forward to the most. That means a big chunk of the world's wealth could move through the XRP ledger. Remember that I'm not an official business guide anymore. The information in those movies is only meant to be fun. I always tell my guests to do their own study and talk to experts before making any financial decisions. Many thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click the subscribe button and turn on the alerts to be the first to know when new videos are uploaded. Please know that I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video when I add new material. Be careful.